So we're going to be going over how gas exchange happens and how the lungs work. Basics. So your lungs are how your body exchanges oxygen and CO2 to and from your blood. And the way that this works is, well, your medulla, which is in your brain, monitors your arterial CO2. And that prompts, it's part of your autonomic nervous system. When that CO2 rises, it prompts you to breathe because you want to, well, one, exhale that CO2, but because there's a large buildup of CO2, that also means in your body that it's time for more oxygen. So it's going to move your diaphragm, which is a muscle below your lungs, down, and this creates suction in this hollow cavity that surrounds the lungs, right, which causes them to expand, which sucks air in from the air into your mouth or nose, down your trachea, and then it goes down into your bronchi, which are these two little stems right here. Your bronchi then split into thousands and thousands of these little bronchioles. A concept that is really important with the lungs is that they are not just like a balloon. What's really happening, I think, is more accurately depicted by this right here. So this is an actual picture of, well, it's not a surgical picture, but this is what your lungs would actually look like. They're very spongy and they're very full of these bronchioles, thousands and thousands of these bronchioles. And at the end of each one of these bronchioles, you have an alveoli, right? I'm just going to draw one, but they're shaped like grapes, or even you can see in this picture like bundles of grapes, right? And the reason they're shaped this way is to maximize the surface area. Nice and round, nice good surface area. So these are what actually fills with air, not your lungs, quote unquote. I think it's much more accurate to say your alveoli are filling with air. The air is not actually escaping this alveoli into a dead space inside your lungs. So this alveoli is going to fill with oxygen-rich air, right? There's tons of oxygen in here. And then what surrounds your alveoli are going to be essentially very small blood vessels, right? Alveolar capillaries. And these capillaries have a lot of CO2 in them because they're coming from your body, which use the oxygen and as a byproduct of metabolism produce CO2. And then in the natural process of gas exchange, well, this membrane right here, the outside of your alveoli is a membrane, is very thin. And this very thin membrane is going to allow gas to pass through it into your bloodstream, right? So the oxygen, there's a high amount of oxygen here and a low amount of oxygen inside your actual alveolar capillary. So the oxygen is going to want to move from an area of high pressure, well, to low pressure. Same with the CO2, it's going to want to move from an area of high CO2 to low CO2. And so it's a natural process. There's no force involved. And that's how gas exchange works, which then allows you to release that air. And that's the basics of gas exchange.